At first it sounded almost too good to be true. A technique so old it predates modern irrigation, yet so simple it could be implemented in any backyard. But as I started experimenting, I realized I was tapping into a forgotten wisdom that could change how we garden forever. Today I'm going to walk you through this ancient rainwater hack, why it works better than many modern systems, and exactly how you can apply it to make your garden thrive with minimal effort. By the end of this video, you'll see why history often holds the best solutions. The secret begins with understanding how ancient civilizations managed water. Long before pumps and sprinklers, communities relied on passive techniques to capture, store, and distribute rainwater. They observed patterns in rainfall, the contours of the land, and the natural flow of water, using gravity and soil structure to their advantage. One method, practiced in European and Asian gardens for centuries, involved creating small depressions, channels and reservoirs that guided rainwater directly to plant roots. Unlike modern irrigation systems that can waste water or require electricity, these ancient designs worked with the landscape, creating a self-watering garden that thrived even during dry spells. So, the first step to applying this hack today is to observe your land carefully. Take a good look around and look for natural slopes, low points, and, well, areas where water tends to pool after a rainfall. These locations are just perfect for small rainwater basins or swales. In my own garden, I went ahead and marked these areas and dug shallow trenches, making sure, each one gently slopes toward plants that need the most moisture. You can start small, really, perhaps by capturing runoff from your roof with a barrel, or even channeling excess water from paved areas. By directing this water slowly into the soil, you encourage deeper root growth and reduce surface evaporation, a principle that medieval gardeners relied on extensively. Next comes the secret that makes this method truly remarkable: soil infiltration and micro-reservoirs. Ancient gardeners often layered organic matter in the basins or trenches, such as chopped leaves, straw, or decomposed plant material. So this mulch acted like a sponge, holding water longer and releasing it gradually to plant roots. When I replicated this in my own garden, I layered the bottom of each trench with a few inches of leaf litter, then added a mixture of fine compost and straw. The effect was immediate. The soil retained moisture far longer than bare clay or sandy patches, and the plants began showing signs of less stress and more vigorous growth. This layering, you see, mimics the way ancient soil engineers created micro-reservoirs, ensuring that rainwater penetrated deeply rather than running off. The real beauty of this technique is its adaptability to different garden types. For small urban plots, a few well-placed rain barrels feeding into narrow swales can mimic the effect on a miniature scale. For larger or rural gardens, contour trenches, terrace basins, and layered mulch can capture and distribute water across multiple beds. Historical records indicate that some European monasteries used variations of this method to irrigate vegetable gardens, orchards, and even grain plots without relying on pumps or canals. By integrating these systems into your garden, you essentially create a passive irrigation network that works with the natural rhythm of rainfall, allowing your garden to water itself in a sustainable and resilient way. Another advantage is that it improves soil structure over time. Regularly directing rainwater into these micro-reservoirs encourages the development of soil aggregates, enhancing drainage in clay soils and water retention in sandy soils. When I tested this on a previously stubborn clay patch, roots began penetrating more easily within weeks, and the soil's texture became noticeably softer. This is the kind of long-term benefit that synthetic irrigation can't provide. You're not just delivering water, you're improving the soil's capacity to manage it. For anyone interested in survival gardening or historical cultivation, this technique reduces dependency on external resources while building a more resilient ecosystem. Finally, timing and observation are crucial. Ancient gardeners didn't just dig trenches and walk away, they monitored how water flowed, adjusted the slope of basins, and added organic matter as needed. In practice, this means you should watch your garden during and after rainfall, noting which areas dry out fastest, where water pools, and which plants thrive. Making small adjustments like adding extra mulch to a fast-drying swale or, deepening a basin slightly fine-tunes the system and ensures maximum efficiency. Over time, your garden essentially becomes self-regulating, much like those gardens that, sustained communities for centuries. This 1,000-year-old rainwater hack isn't just a novelty, it's a bridge between past and present. It reminds us that history often holds solutions more elegant and sustainable than modern technology. By observing, layering, and channeling rainwater intelligently, you create a garden that nourishes itself, builds soil health, and reduces labour, all while connecting to a tradition of centuries-old wisdom. If you want your garden to finally water itself and thrive, like it did in centuries past, start applying this ancient technique today. Mark your slopes, create small basins, layer organic matter, and observe how water moves across your land. And if you found this guide valuable, make sure to subscribe to Hydra Haven, share it with fellow history buffs and survivalists, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into practical historical gardening secrets. Your plants and your soil will thank you.